beautiful, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be the 5 looks 1 palette video with the new Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. I know that this palette is a bit intimidating, so I wanted to make sure not to just do a review on it, but also give you guys a 5 looks 1 palette video, so that if you bought the palette and you are not sure what to do with it, you have a lot of references at least here on my channel. So I am doing 5 looks in this video, but if you guys are in need of more inspiration, or if I didn't touch one of the colors in this one, I do have 2 other looks in my review video, so you can definitely check those out. And between all 7 looks that I did, I'm pretty sure that I used every single shade in this palette, and that you guys are going to have something that you like that you can recreate. Now, whenever I do these types of videos, I always make sure to only use this palette. I don't go out to anywhere else to find anything else. So because this palette is so colorful, every single look that is in this video is going to be a very colorful look. Obviously, you can just get this palette to use these colors as accent colors, which is totally fine, by mixing it with more nude and neutral eyeshadows. But in this video in particular, we are doing all colorful looks because we are only using this palette specifically. With that said, please let me know down in the comment section 1 through 5 which look is your favorite once you see them all. I always like to know. By the way, everything that I talk about in this video or that I'm wearing on my face right now is going to be linked down in the description box of this video if you guys are interested. And the REPHR brushes that I'm using in the video are currently on sale, so definitely check those out. Don't forget to please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. And let's just go ahead and get started. Let's get started with the first look. And I have the color Pantomime on my REPHR number 26 brush. And I'm back and forth just doing windshield wiper motions on my crease with it, creating a nice transition shade for the colors we'll use afterwards. The second color I'm going to use is the color Acrobat, and the color Acrobat is a cream formula from Natasha Denona. And what that means is that this color is going to be very movable and blendable, but it also means that it's going to diffuse to a lot lighter of a color than what it looks like on the pan. So I have my REPHR number 1 brush and I'm just moving it around, and we're going to then start to build up that same shade. Okay, back with more of that same color Acrobat, and we're going to start darkening the outer V of the eye, and I'm just patting my number 1 brush at an angle back here and starting to diffuse that color into the crease with the tip of it. Putting very little pressure and just blending it back and forth. This is my actual number 26 brush. I made a mistake earlier. The first brush that I used for blending was the number 16, which is this one right here, not the number 26. This little pointed one, this is the number 26 brush. And with the little pointed one, I'm just adding as much depth as I can with that color to my outer corner right here, because this brush gives me a lot more precision. With the tip of my finger, I grab the color Electric, and I'm going to tap it onto the eyelid. That looks so beautiful. I'm going to blend it all the way to the outer corner, kind of putting it over the teal shade. This electric color feels very, very creamy. And I'm slowly just bringing it forward a little bit at a time. With my REPHR number 2 brush, I grabbed the color Snow Cone, and this is going to be what I have on the first third of my eyelid here. And it'll also be my inner corner color. And I'm bringing it in a little bit over the color Electric. With my REPHR number 13 brush and a tiny bit of the color Magic, I'm going to just touch the outer corner of my eye and work it in just a teeny tiny bit, just because I feel like this is going to give it so much more depth. And I'm blending it a little bit into the color Acrobat right there. Honestly, on those of you with brown eyes, this is going to be such a beautiful look. Let me do some makeup on my face and I'll be back to finish it up. I have some makeup around my eye, and I'm going to start my under eye with the color Magic in my REPHR number 13 brush, and I'm just back and forth going to blend that color all under my eyes. Just back and forth with my REPHR number 13 brush. Then with the REPHR number 1 brush and the color Acrobat, I'm going to blend that out and just kind of mix that teal color on top of the purple. And lastly, a little bit of Pantomime, Never Hurt Nobody. We're going to put it through the edges of the eye look here, And now we have a really nice blown out eye look. Lastly, I'm going to do a little bit more of snow cone on the inner corner here. Marine eyeliner from Chanel in the waterline. And this right here is the final look number 1. Let me go ahead and add some more mascara on. I'll be right back to show you what it looks like with some mascara and lashes. This is it with just the mascara on, and let me show you with some fun lashes too. If you see my hand over here, it's because my camera insists on focusing on my ear instead of my eyeball, but here we are. So this right here is the final first look, and the lashes I have on are the Brat Lashes by Glamnetic. So check it out, a really nice and intense blue. The pigmentation on these eyeshadows is not a joke, and I didn't really have trouble blending anything in this look. And look at the level of like just gradient we got. So super happy with this one. Let's move on to look number 2. Let's get started with look number 2, and I'm going to be using the color Cotton Candy. I am blending it out this time with my number 27 brush from REPHR. Just back and forth. Any fluffy brush will do. Lots of pink on this inner part right here. And then blend it throughout the crease, of course. But I did put a little bit extra right here on this inner part. Same brush in the color Firework, and I'm going to put it on the crease. Outer corner first, and then slowly blend it forward. A little bit more Cotton Candy over the edge because I don't want it to be that orange for some reason. I like how it becomes peachy when you tone it down with the pink shade. Okay, I'm digging that. As you can see, this was not planned, but I like it. Now with the color Firework, I'm just intensifying right in the outer corner of the eye and blending that color into the peachy shade that I created with the pink and the orange. And I'm doing all of this using my REPHR number 12 brush. I'm going to use the color Grin on my fingertips, and I'm just going to pat it right here in the center of my eyelid. I'm grabbing a little bit more of that color on my REPHR number 2 brush, and I'm putting it a little bit higher than I could by just using my finger with this brush. Back with my number 12, nothing on it. I'm just making sure things are blending nicely. Okay, I'm going to use this new eyeliner brush from REPHR. I'm using my number 29 brush for this. And the color Joker. I had to step off of camera to kind of try and fix that because I didn't start looking in the mirror the way I should have. So it just took a turn, okay? But I'm okay with the way it looks right now. A little bit thicker than I intended. However, I like it. And that color Joker as eyeliner is not bad at all. So let me do some face makeup and I'll be right back to finish this look up. Back with some more makeup on, let's go ahead and finish up this look. As you can see, I put a little bit of that eyeliner right underneath my eyes. And so we're going to start with the orangey shade under the eyes as well. So that is of course the color Firework, and I'm going to be putting it on with my REPHR number 3 brush. And I'm just back and forth placing it underneath my lower lash line. And then with the color Cotton Candy, I'm going to diffuse that even further. Okay, so this is the final second look. I do have a bit of mascara on from earlier, but I'll put on a bit more of mascara and also maybe some lashes. I really like the way this one ended up coming out. It's nice and colorful, but also pretty girly. So let me be right back to show you the final look number 2. Back, and this right here is the final look number 2. Super nice and colorful. I went with big bold lashes for it because it's been a while since I put on some bold lashes on the channel, and I feel like these colorful looks just deserve the nice bold lashes. So take a last look. I really actually loved the way that this one came out. Very unexpected. So let's go ahead and move on to look number 3. To get started with the third look, we're going to use the color Firework on the crease of the eye, and I'm just back and forth going to work that color in. And I'm doing little circles around the crease area just to diffuse it outwards a little bit, make it high and gradient. I was editing the first 2 looks last night, and I noticed that the first look in a lot of shots is out of focus, so I'm hoping it doesn't happen again. That's why I have my eye a little bit closer up on the camera this time. It's just when I do this eye, my monitor is like all the way on that corner, and it's hard to see what I'm doing while I'm doing it, but hopefully this is not going to be out of focus. So that is the color Firework on the crease. And on the outer corner with the same brush, I'm getting the color Joker and just putting it right here back and forth on this outer corner with the same number 16 brush. And I'm diffusing it into that orangey shade. I'm using the color Razzle Dazzle on my eyelid and taking it over the color Joker a little bit with my REPHR number 2 brush. So from the center of the eyelid, I'm just blending it backwards a little bit. And this eye look, I think I want it to be not too dark, just a colorful, lighter type of look. Same brush in the color Spiral, which I haven't used yet, and I'm going to do Spiral on the inner half of my eyelid. With my REPHR number 1 and a little bit more of that color Joker, I'm going to just make that color a little bit higher on the crease, blend it with the orangey shade a little more. Same brush and a little bit of Firework just to mix them together on the crease. Okay, and this is the top of the third look. Let me put on some makeup and I'll be right back to finish it up. Back with some makeup on, and I want to use the color Electric underneath my eyes. Just to try it out. I'm not sure that it's going to look that great, but I want to have something other than orange underneath this eye. I'm blending it upwards a little bit right here at the end. And I like it, but I want to do eyeliner on top that is blue too. For some reason, I feel like I need it. So I'm going to do a pencil eyeliner from Chanel. This one is number 30. And I'm first going to do it in the waterline of my eye. But then I also want to do some on top. So give me 1 second because I can't do that on camera. This is what it looks like with just the eyeliner, and it's a bit more purple than I wanted to. So I'm going to go over the eyeliner with the number 29 brush in the color Electric. Okay, this is what it looks like after I tapped a little bit of Electric over it. And I'm going to do a little bit of the color Firework underneath my eyes, just to tie it all back in. Just kidding, don't do that. I'm going to redo my under eye because I don't like that awful mustard color that we created. Once again, I only have the color Electric underneath my eye, and I'm going to use a bit of the color Phantomime to soften that out with my number 13 brush from REPHR. And finally, on the inner corner, a little bit of the color Aerialist. Just blend it in a tiny bit, and this right here is the final look number 3, which I think is kind of like a random look, but I'm not upset at it. It's just kind of what came out. I don't practice my looks before I do them. I just go with the flow, and if I make mistakes, I fix them just like I fixed my under eye in this one. So anyways, this is the final third look. Let me put on some mascara and lashes and show you what that looks like. Back with some lashes on, and this right here is the final third look with this Circo Loco palette. The looks I've come up with are just interesting. I'm never this colorful, you guys know that, but it's been kind of like a fun challenge to take on. So yes, I put on some Glamnetic lashes, and this right here is look number 3 with some lashes on. Let's go ahead and move on to the fourth look. I'm going to start the fourth look with the color Aerialist on my eyelid here. And I'm just tapping it on with my REPHR number 28 brush. Then with that same brush, I grab the color Flip, and I'm going to blend it back into the outer corner of my eye. So putting it over the center right here. And I'm just kind of tapping it with that same REPHR number 28 brush. With my REPHR number 12, I grab the color Acrobat, and I'm going to tap it right on this outer corner right here. Just pack it up there and start bringing it out a little bit. And with that same brush and a little bit of the color Phantomime, we are going to blend out the edges. A little bit more Acrobat on the outermost corner just to intensify things a bit. And I'm going to do a little bit of magic over the outer corner with my REPHR number 13 brush and just blend it in. I grabbed my number 15 brush with nothing on it, and I'm just diffusing any edges I might have created here just by very softly back and forth blending everything. A little bit more of the color Flip in the center because I feel like I kind of lost it there. I put some moisturizer on this cotton, and I'm just kind of wiping off any excess with the moisturizer. And I'm going to put my Fenty Q-Ting eyeliner on top of that blue. I did it off camera because I didn't want to end up with a huge line like with look number 2. But what I did was I used my Q-Ting eyeliner and I drew the line, and it kind of looked purple because the pink in this mixed with the blue. And then I went over it with the color Cotton Candy in my REPHR number 29 brush and just stamped Cotton Candy over the line I made with the eyeliner, and this is what I created. Let me do some face makeup and I'll be right back to show you the final look number 4. With my REPHR number 13 brush and the color Magic, I'm going to go right underneath my lower lashes on the outer corner here and just blend that color down there, just to kind of make that purple meet with the pink wing. I'm retouching the wing because I don't want the pink to actually go away. A little bit of the color Acrobat with the same number 13 brush, and I am blending it inwards underneath my lashes. And lastly, the color Cotton Candy to diffuse things even further. For the inner corner, I want to do a little bit of snow cone and blend it in a little bit with the REPHR number 28. And this right here is look number 4 before mascara or lashes. Let me do some of that and I'll be right back to show you the final look. Here's look number 4 with just some mascara on. I am going to put on some lashes, but I wanted to show you before I did that. So let me be right back with lashes on as well. Ta-da! After some lashes, this right here is the final 4th look. Love to add lashes to colorful looks. It just makes such a huge difference. And I really love the pink eyeliner in this eye look. I'm not going to lie, it looks really nice. And it is a nice pop of like a pastel color. So I hope that you guys liked this look. And let's move on to the 5th and final look. I am so excited about the 5th look. There is one look in each video that I do practice because I do it off camera on one eye, and then I can come back and just show you guys what I did. And this is that look, and I have it over here, and oh my god, I am so excited about it. Believe it or not, we're going to start with the color Magic, and I'm using my new REPHR number 26 brush, and I'm putting it on the inner corner of my eye. And I did this for the other eye, and this was a much easier way to like blend this color. So Magic on the inner corner, and I'm using this perfect brush for this job. With that same number 26 brush and that color Magic, we're also going to do the outer corner of the eye. And I'm going to just go back and forth to blend that upper edge a little bit. And I'm going to bring that purple all the way in to meet with the beginning part of my eyelid here. Now with my number 13 brush, I'm just going to go back and forth through the edges and just diffuse them a little bit with this teeny tiny blending brush. And with that 13 brush, I'm grabbing the color Cotton Candy and I'm going to put it through those edges to diffuse them further. And doing it this way, I found it a lot easier to work with that color Magic. Next, I'm using my number 28 brush and the color Razzle Dazzle, and I'm going to tap it in the center of my eyelid, all over that empty space that I left. And then we're going to use the color Aerialist over top, and that color Aerialist over the shimmery pink is going to make it a lot lighter of a shade. It makes Razzle Dazzle kind of become more of a pastel pink rather than an intense pink. A bit more Magic on my number 26 brush, and I'm just going to tap things in a little bit so that they blend better on both the outer and the inner part of the eye. And I'm going to do a little bit of Aerialist on my inner corner as well. Okay, let me do my face makeup and I'll be right back to finish this up. I'm back, and besides doing the rest of my makeup, I put some mascara on the top lashes. And now let's get to the bottom of the eyes. I'm going to use the color Magic on my REPHR number 3 brush, and I'm going to just blend it underneath my lower lash line, back and forth. Oh, I also use the Fenty eyeliner in the color Perpetrator in my lower waterline. Now with my REPHR number 1 and the color Cotton Candy, we are going to diffuse everything under here. And we're going to finish up with a bit more Aerialist on the inner corner here, just tapping it in with my number 28 brush. Just added a bit of mascara to my lower lashes, and this right here is the final 5th look. Needless to say, this is my favorite look that I've done. I love this one, my favorite look with this palette, and I've already done 7 of them. Please let me know down in the comment section which look is your favorite one because I would love to know. Oh, let me put some lashes on. Okay, back with some Glamnetic lashes on, and this right here is the fifth and final look. These are the OMG lashes from Glamnetic, and I'm loving this one. Alrighty, so that was all 5 looks with this beautiful Circo Loco palette. I did enjoy this palette a lot more than I thought I would. If you're looking for a colorful palette, I definitely recommend that you get this one. But we do have the Sephora sale coming up soon, so maybe you can hold off and get it at a discount, because this is a $129 palette, which is a little bit on the pricey side. So I have one more thing before I send you guys off, and that is some comparisons, because a few of you asked me to compare this one to the Riviera palette by Anastasia, so that's what I'm going to do now. Here are these 2 palettes side by side. I honestly don't see that much of a similarity. They do have similar vibes. However, I think with the Riviera palette, you get some neutral shades so that you can mix in with the palette. This one is all colorful. Besides that, I can tell you I personally prefer the Natasha Denona formula. Let's compare this and this color here. As you can see, the Riviera one is a lot more of a warm purple. This one is a lot more of a cool tone purple, which these are harder to do. So I find this one a bit more intriguing and attracting. And then besides that, like, I guess this pink and this pink we can compare. Also pretty different. So basically, even though these have similar vibes, there is no dupes for one in the other. I hope that comparison helped those of you who asked in my comment section if the palettes were similar. And that is it for the video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to vote 1 through 5 which look was your favorite one. Don't forget to like this video if you like it, and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I do tons of videos like this one. They are a pretty popular series here on my channel, and so I have looks with a lot of the most popular palettes. So if you're into this type of video, make sure that you hit that red subscribe button. With that said, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye!